Oh hey, it's Wes, and today it's time to talk about softboxes again. And if you've seen some of my previous softbox videos, you have heard me talk about the Glow Easy softbox and how I wanted to test that. And it's not strictly sold in Canada, so I haven't had a chance to do that just yet. And Adorama apparently heard me whining about that, and they sent me a Glow 48-inch deep Parabolic Easy softbox. There's an octa in there somewhere too. So, what is that? Well, if we look at what we have on the table here, we have my usual easy softboxes. We have the Westcott Rapid Box, we have the Leofast softbox, I don't think it has a fancy name at all, and here is the Glow. So what's the difference? What's the point? Well, one might say that Westcott was the first to come up with this sort of easy umbrella design. I'm not sure if one would be correct or not, but let's just go with that for now. And since then, other people have tried to make things a little easier. And Aperture came out with their softboxes with the quick release switches. Not quite as easy, and I talked about that in the past. Again, watch that video if you haven't. And so let's talk about the Glow softbox. Finally, it costs less. Does it do more? Let's find out. Starting with the build quality. As you can see, we start out with a really big bag. It's actually slightly padded, which is honestly highly unnecessary. But hey, that's fine. In the bag, we have our softbox, our front diffusion, we have a full egg crate, and there is also a small reflector dish at the bottom of this bag that you don't need to see. Honestly, it is incredibly small considering the size of this 4-foot softbox. I'm not really sure how necessary that is. Don't you pick that couch? So anyway, then inside the softbox, there is another layer of diffusion as well. So we've got a lot of different ways to set this up. As far as the build quality specific to the softbox, the fabric itself is actually pretty thin, not shocking, but our Bones ring on the back is perfectly solid. Not the biggest and beefiest I've ever seen, but I've never had a Bones ring break before, and I've used these in windstorms that have almost snapped my C-stands in half, so I don't think that's a point of failure. The arms on this, they're not fiberglass, they're made of metal, but they are surprisingly thick. And that has its ups and downs. We'll talk about that more later. So, as far as the build quality goes, there's a lot of good decisions here, and it is pretty solid. Not the solidest. I'm gonna give that a 9 out of 10. Light quality. And I mean, if you don't have light quality, what's the point of the softbox in the first place? And I'm happy to say that this is great for light quality, depending on what you consider good light, because there are different ways of going about this. So this softbox, much like the Leofast, it produces a bit of a beauty dish style hot ring around the edge, and I prefer that. I find it's more flattering, less hot spot reflections, so I like that. But if you want a perfectly diffused light right across the whole front of the softbox, this is not going to give you that so much. light coming out of this to be very great, reasonably neutral. So I'm just gonna give this a 10 out of 10 because you can use the reflector dish, you can use the internal baffle or not, or the egg crate. You can kind of make whatever light you want with this, and it's a nice big 4-foot light. So there's no problem making this create the light that you want it to create. Usability, and this is where it really comes down. We're talking about how an easy softbox is easy. So if you remember the Leofas, we have these snap-in arms, which honestly, once you get used to it, they aren't too bad. But they're still not the easiest. So until now, the easiest has been this Westcott Rapid Box. Let's see how quickly I can get this set up. It's set up. My front diffusion and middle diffusion are already in place. They never moved. I just reached inside, set it up, and boom, it's back down again. That easy. So it's got some stiff competition. Let's give it a whirl. Can I just reach inside? Okay, okay. If I got it. If you can see my arms in there. Pulling on this. Okay. No, that doesn't do it. Okay. Set it down like this. The arms have a habit of falling out of the edge from time to time as well. I'm gonna push down on the middle. There. I got it. Okay. So that's how you set this up. Let's take some snaps out of place so I can show you. Another thing I like about the build quality for this, the inner diffusion is not just some super cheap Velcro connection or something. It's actually really nicely held in place by some snaps here. Almost too nicely if you want to quickly show someone what's inside. So, inside here, you have a center bar, which is very thick, and you have a locking ring for the umbrella. And there's a button on the side, which doesn't actually push until you've pushed back against it. So, even from this direction, you are still going to have to put it back down on the floor to push down on that center bar. So at the end of the day, to get this to get set up, you have to peel off your front diffusion fabric and your egg crate if you have that on there, and then reach your arms into the side and push down with a fair amount of weight. And then to close it, it's the same deal. You gotta push down again fairly hard. Now, when I first got this softbox, I had to take pretty much all of the diffusion fabric off and bear down with all of my weight to get that thing to go in far enough. For someone who is smaller than me, this would be a tough sell. I don't know if everyone would be able to do that very easily. For usability, at the end of the day for me, now that I've been using this for a couple months and it's broken in a bit, my usability is a 7 out of 10. Day one, I might have given it a 4 or 5. And that's kind of rough. The fact of the matter is, it's still way faster than the individual rod setup of something like even the way more expensive Profoto softboxes and a lot of the cheaper newer softboxes where you gotta jam the rods in and bend them, and those are super annoying and they take forever. But what really gets me is that when I'm out on a photo shoot and I have clients watching me set this up and watching my assistant set this up, you look like a bit of an idiot jamming your whole torso into the front of this box to set it up. Whereas with the Rapid Box, poof, it's open. Or even with the Aperture or Leofast boxes, you're just kind of standing there snapping some bars. It's a little bit more dignified. And I hate to bring that into it, but you really do look silly when you set this huge box up sometimes. So anyway, at the end of the day, it's a 7 out of 10. It's not that hard, but it's not that easy either. Value, and this is what we're looking for here. This costs way less, or does it? Well, let's find out. This box right here, I'll have a link in the description, comes in at $95, often goes on sale at Adorama for even less than that. That is a great deal for a solid softbox. You got the Leofast softbox made by Per Gear, essentially designed to undercut aperture and other softboxes, is 157 bucks. I can't say that one is clearly better quality than the other, so for significantly less, the Glow seems like an easy bet there. So the aperture that the Leofast undercuts, that's 220 bucks. But yes, you can get a softbox for less. A 4-foot softbox from Neewer is 40 bucks. That is incredibly cheap. So obviously this isn't the cheapest softbox you can buy, by a long shot. But there are other boxes like the Westcott Rapid Box, which is $330 when you have a Bowens insert on it. The grid is $250. That's a total $580. That's ridiculous. And then the Profoto RFI Octa, same size, not easy at all. You gotta jam those rods in. 370 bucks, and the grid is $300. That's a total of $670 plus whatever sales tax you might have. For a box that's darn near impossible to set up on site. A lot of the reviews, people just say they set up the Profoto box once, and then they never take it apart again because it's that annoying. Obviously, this is a better idea than that. And honestly, I cannot see the Profoto being much more durable than this. This is made out of really solid materials. These sidebars that hold our Octa open, and honestly, Octa isn't even right for this because this has way more sides than Octa. There's some math in there somewhere. These are so thick, and that's why this is so hard to open. I'm pretty sure this is going to take a beating. I've used it for tons of stuff already. But anyway, let's draw the line on the value. It's a 9 out of 10. So I've used this for video, I've used it for photo, I've used it with the diffusion off, with the egg crate on. Lots of different ways. I love how versatile it is. At the end of the day, it's kind of a love-hate relationship though. Let me know what you think about the Glow Easy softbox products. I've heard that the smaller ones are easier to set up. This is the big one, and it takes the big guns to get it really in there. Let me know if you have any questions about this. Let me know if there's anything else that I should be testing. If you want to see more of those images and video samples, you can check the links down in the description. And if you want to buy one of these, please use my links down in the description. It helps support this channel and feed my family. And it helps feed these cats too. Aww. So, until next time, go take some photos.